In this video, I'll show you how you can use LM Studio to run a local inference server. I'll share the code that I have with you so that you can chat with whatever LLM you've downloaded using a terminal. I'll share all the code that I have with you. Learn with me as I learn. All right, this is like take 7. Trust me, AI is not taking your job anytime soon, especially the open source models. These models have been hallucinating for the last hour. Okay, you have no idea what I'm talking about. I guess you think I'm hallucinating. Long story, I won't get into it. Anyway, hopefully you are familiar with LM Studio. I'm not going to get into a full explanation of LM Studio, but what I will say is, basically there's 2 ways to use this to try out open source models and actually deploy open source models. You can use the chat interface that they offer, which also gives you the ability to adjust some parameters here, like custom instructions, or what they call a system prompt or a system message. You can change how many, the context limit, or how much is using your GPU. And you know what? While I'm here, though, let me go over to make sure that I've set the context length correctly for this model. I just changed the model, so that model uses 4096 tokens. Okay, not going to get into that. So we want to talk about this here, how to use the local inference server. So what you want to do first is, and I hope this works, it's been giving me trouble. It's just not that straightforward. But as you saw in the beginning, I was chatting. Okay, so first thing is you want to start the server. But the problem is that the code they offer you for, I guess this is a multi-turn chat. I might be wrong, but they offer you this code, right? And so you take this code and you create a new file, a Python file from it, which I've done over here. I've named it lmstudio_fix.py, and I am going to run this file. However, this is different. It's a different file because I tried many times and this part here does not work. I really like this software, but it appears to me that this here and this here is problematic, and this also, this part here. So you need to remove all the references to this. You need to do this in a different way. I gave it to GPT-4 and I told it, hey, I want to use this code, but this part doesn't work and this part doesn't work. Can you please rewrite it? Keep as much of this code as possible, but fix this stuff, right? So I gave it to GPT-4 and it created this, which it fixed it here. It used a different method here, and it removed that this part here. It altered this. It changed it to this. Okay, so that was the problem. This is, I don't know if you're facing the same problem. I don't know if your version of LM Studio gives you this, but this is not going to work. So this is why I made the video, because it took a long time to find out how to fix this. So, because I'm not a coder, right? That's why we use GPT-4. That's why we're using these models, because they give us their tools to now be able to not to do things without knowing how to code, because it codes for you. It's like hiring a coder for $20 a month. But now, if you can get these open source models to work. It's free. That's the whole point of this. It's all free. That's why you want to use LM Studio. Okay. Hopefully this works. Okay. So I got everything set up. Let me make sure I got this shortcut set up in my task configuration. Yeah, I had the wrong one there. Okay, let me change. This is my shortcut. I won't explain, just trust me. This is the method I'm using to avoid doing too much typing. Okay, so did I save that? Let me make sure I saved that file. Okay, so now I want to use my GPT-4 code, which supposedly, hopefully fixed this. You saw it. And I'm going to run it. I should get a user prompt. It is rhyming because it was prompted to rhyme. You can ask me questions, play with me, or just chat with me. But remember this rule, always rhyme, or else you'll be in big trouble. No, you're in big trouble because there's something wrong with this code. Oh man, you're in big trouble. Look at this, it's telling me I'll be in, or else you'll be in big trouble. Does that even rhyme? I'm a robot, smart and cool. I can do anything you want to know or tell. You can ask me questions, play with me. I don't want to play with you, or just chat with me. But remember this rule, always rhyme, or else you'll be in big trouble. That's scary. That's scary. You're not helping the case for how AI could be useful. Okay, I'm gonna roll with this in this video. So all morning this thing has been acting up. This code, it gets the it gets the model going, but then it ends the. If I press any key right now, it will end the chat. Watch. Here we go. There we go. I just pressed the space bar. It ended. Apparently, even that code is problematic. So let's close this out. Let's go to version 2.1. This is version 2.1. So it's the same code. And I'm freestyling here, guys, because I've been trying this all morning. I'm trying to stick with it. Same code with the same fix. However, I asked GPT-4 to, let me stop the server here. Let me clear it all out. Start the server again. I asked GPT-4 to add the ability, I want a system message. If you've used GPT-4, you may know they have custom instructions. You can name the model. I mean, you could tell the model your name. You can name it. You can give it a role. You can really just direct. It's kind of it's not really fine tuning, but anyway. So the difference between the code now is it added this here. So let's just call this an inline method of using a system message, right? It's inside of the Python code. Now, I'm assuming this is going to work. So let me copy this again. I'm going to go into my shortcut here. I'm going to paste I'm going to try a different file. I'm telling it to run this. I'm going to save that. Okay, we got the server running. We're using this Phi2 model. Instead, now I'm going to run this Python file. Here we go. We should get a user prompt. There we go. All right, come on, work with me here. I'm gonna keep it simple. So far, so good. Hello. Just in case, I'm gonna say, be brief. So the model is now getting ready to generate a response. It has its instructions here. It sees that that's this over here. It sees that, and any minute Okay, here we go. Hi, my name is Kit. Okay, you should have stopped right there, Kit. You should stop. Just stop talking. Just stop talking. But it's going on. Okay, okay, here we go. So we got it going. All right. So it responded and said, "Hello, my name is Kit, your AI assistant. How can I assist you today?" Okay, so I'm going to take a chance here. And I'm just going to give it one more prompt. I'm going to say, no, I'm not. I'm going to move on. So this code allows us to end the chat by typing exit, bye, or end. I'm going to use exit. I'm going to type exit. I'm going to hit enter, and it should end the chat. And then now, if I press any key, it will close the terminal. Okay, so that code works. And we have an inline or an embedded method of giving it a system message. So again, you saw in the intro that this worked. It's probably just my system. Maybe there's some caching going on. Maybe I need to just pick another model. But this has worked. So you can use this and replace this with this. But the next step is you're going to want some kind of system instruction, some system message. So this is the second version, which adds that. But wait, there's more. Maybe you don't want it to be inline. So let's close this. You want it to be external. So then I gave this here. I continued my conversation with GPT-4 and I said, okay, how can we do this externally? I don't want this in my Python code. It's kind of like you're working with HTML5 and you don't want to use inline code. You want to reference a CSS file, or you want to reference some JavaScript in another, file. Okay, that's kind of the idea here. So then it created this. Now, if you notice, so GPT-4, this is from a conversation, and it decided to just take a different approach here. So this is very different. This looks very different from this. If you look at, let's just focus on this section here, right? Let's compare. I'm going to put these side by side. Okay, let's stay focused. Let me try to, okay. So this here, it's a very different approach. There's some more, there's what's different here? API type. This is different. I'm not a coder, so I wouldn't be able to do this, and this is why we use GPTs and LLMs. Maybe they're not all GPTs. Maybe they are based on something else. So this one, this is what GPT-4 made, and as you can see, there is no system message in here, but there is a reference to a file called system message. So this method references this file. And this is where my system message is. So now you can edit this. You can change this. You can add more. You can take some away. You can change it to your name. You can change this and put in your name. If your name is Kathy, then you change this to Kathy. And if you want to name, if you don't like Knight Rider, you can call it whatever you want. And this is where you do it. So let's give it a shot. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna copy that name. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna tell my file here. I said, okay, let's open this file now. I'm gonna save this. And again, we're running this. I'm gonna close this. We're not dealing with this anymore. Okay, I'm gonna clear this. I'm tempted to, you know what? I'm going to stop the server. I'm going to clear the history. I'm going to take a little chance here, and I'm going to switch models. I'm going to switch to the stable LM Zephyr 3B. Now we've got a different model. Now what's cool is it doesn't matter. You don't need to change it in the code because you told the code. The code says just use whatever the local model is right there. That's what it says. So whatever you load here is the local model. So let's start the server. Server's running. Let's go here. Let me just double check. Yes, external. That's how I know it's the right file. It's external. It's referencing a file, an external file. Okay, I'm going to use my shortcut and I'm going to run this file. I hope this works. Okay, here we go. I should get a user prompt and there it goes. It has the same system message as the previous file. It's just accessing that information in a different way. So let's move forward here and let's say what can I give me a brief definition of machine learning. I don't want to say LLM or I don't want to say GPT because sometimes it says, well, what do you mean? There's GPT this or LLM could also mean this. So machine learning is pretty straightforward. Let's see how it does. Okay. It is processing, it is generating a response. Usually the first time you use a model, it takes a little while to get started. There's a little latency in the first prompt. I'm just hoping it doesn't hallucinate or ramble. But here we go. It's generating a response. Token by token. This is interesting. This is what's happening behind the scenes when you're using GPT-4. It's generating a response either word by word or syllable by syllable. And there we go. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence, AI, that focuses on the development of algorithms that can learn from data without being explicitly programmed to perform a specific task. These algorithms enable machines to improve their performance over time by making predictions or decisions based on input data. Okay, one more question. Who first created the transformer model with regard to artificial intelligence? Question mark. Be very brief. Exclamation point. I should have capitalized it. Who first? Oh, that's wrong. I spelled created wrong. Who first created the transformer model with regard to artificial intelligence? Be very brief. All right, here's your time to shine. Model. Strike a pose. This is faster. You see that the second response is faster, but now it's hallucinating. Oh, wait a minute. It's naming a specific person. I should have said which company. It's giving me a website too with a link. I thought it would say something like, okay, there was a team involved, right? It was the Google brain at the time, which is now DeepMind, and I think Ilya Sutskever was on that team at that point. I don't know. Let's try this. What company was responsible for that work? Be brief. I'm not using proper punctuation and grammatical practices. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm trying to get it to say Google. Oh, serious hallucination right now. So this is the stable LM Zephyr model. This is not a video about comparing models, but this is funny. And it's not being brief. It's been told repeatedly to be brief. Okay. So the model's response is Apple. Okay, I'm not going to argue with you there, buddy, but you're wrong. Okay, let's exit. Let's exit. Okay, now let's close this misinformation. Wow. I could go on, but I'm gonna end it there. Okay, so there you go. That's how you get this local inference server going. Obviously, there's more work to be done. There's more models to be tested. Uh, I used the largest available Zephyr model there, just FYI. And I was utilizing, in the beginning, I was utilizing the Microsoft Phi 2. And I was using the largest model available at the time, which should have, in both cases, produced the best responses that those models could generate. But that's it. Okay, now quickly. So I have created a GitHub link on my GitHub account. I put the link below, and I'm gonna give you. I put in there these files here. So we have the original, which is the first fix. It should work. You can try it out. Then I have version, so that would be version 2, and then we have version 2.1, which is the one with the inline embedded message, and then I will put in there version 2. Was it 2.1, 2.2, and then I will put in there the text file, which is the system message for the external approach, which can be used here. I'm going to throw this in there also. This is just a way to you could ask Chat GPT to show you how to use a task configuration file and create it. And I have some extra, bonus stuff. I don't know if I want to reference it. Okay, I got this here. This is all confusing, but right now all we've used are these files right here so far, right? In this video, we've used these files. So if you're wondering, like, what's all this up here? Well, it's this stuff here, plus this VS Code folder that has the task configuration file. So that's what we used. So we use this folder, which is this file. We use this file, this file, this file, and there's no we, it was just me. So that's what I've used so far. So what is this over here? Okay. This all started because I finally found someone who showed how to get this local inference server going. I just want to give him credit. His YouTube channel is Prompt Engineer. He's the one that finally, he's the first person I found that actually showed the code of how you get this going. I was so thankful for this. So after that, I wanted to then add the custom instructions, the system message. So I use Bar Gemini to help me with that, or to do, not to help me. Bar Gemini did it all by himself. And Bar Gemini created this, added this, the inline version, based on this. And then I use GPT-4 to create this. Now this is cool. So I'm not going to show you all of this, but this file adds error logging and handling. And it also incorporates the, is it in here? Yeah, the system message using an external file, referencing the text file. I don't know where I want to show this yet. I don't know if I want to put it on my website. But for now, I'm not going to put, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But you'll have these other ones that work so far. I might just put this on my website, save it, like as a special treat for going to my website. I don't know yet. I'll surprise you. It'll be somewhere. Links to my website are below. Links to my GitHub is below. And I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. Learn with me as I learn.